Hey Jeff. Hey guys. Welcome to the live stream. Can you all hear and see me? Yeah? It's all good? Hey Chris. All right. Good to go. All right guys, well welcome, and today we're going to be exploring the Mixolydian mode a little bit. And if you don't have the tab already, make sure you grab that. And if you already subscribe at TastyGuitar.com, you would have received this in a message a couple days ago. If not, go there now, subscribe for free at the bottom of the home page, and you will receive the Tasty Guitar Complete Tab Collection absolutely free. And that'll be in an email sent out to you. And this one is in there. It's called Unlocking the Mixolydian Puzzle Part 2. So I'll give you a minute to go grab that in case you don't have it, and then we'll get started. All right. Okay, so today what we're going to do, I'm going to review a little bit of what I called Unlocking the Mixolydian Puzzle, a lesson I put out a couple weeks ago. So we're going to review that a little bit here, and then we're going to kind of connect what I call these little puzzle pieces kind of up the neck. All right, so going up pretty much every position of Mixolydian up the neck, kind of connecting these little pieces. You know, usually no more than 3 notes in these little combinations of puzzle pieces, what I call them. Okay, so first we're going to get started just out of Mixolydian position 1. This will be on the tab if you have the tab. If you want to go up and grab a couple more notes in that pattern. Right there, G Mixolydian, where everything's going to be in G today. Again. Right there, G Mixolydian position 1. Okay, so we're going to run through some of these little puzzle pieces, all right? First, let's take a look at where the major third is. Okay, the major third, of course, is a very important note in Mixolydian. It's the third of our chord. We're going to be playing this stuff over dominant 7 chords. Okay, so you can find the third of that chord in 2 different places in this position, and also up there on the top on the high E string. So we'd have it right down there, 2nd fret on the A string. That's your B note. That's the major third of G. You'd also have it right there, 4th fret on the G string. And you'd also have it on the 7th fret right there up on the high E string. So a very important note to target in G Mixolydian there if you're playing over a dominant 7 chord. Okay, so I'm just going to jam over a little loop here, and all I'm going to do is just kind of target that note. You know, nothing else yet. I like to slide into that note usually. You need to know where that note is relative to the roots. Okay, so we're looking for that note relative to any G note you find in this pattern. There's G. Okay, there's my root. So I know that my third of that chord is right down there on the A string, 1 fret below. That's kind of how you want to reference this. I also have a root right here. There's G. I know my major third is right there. Also 1 string up, 1 fret down relative to that root. And up here on the high E string, I know that that third right there is up 4 frets. Okay, I can combine that with just the root, and I get some pretty decent sounds out of this. Just doing this. Reverse the notes. Sliding into this third down here and going up to this root is a nice sound. Okay, so there is the major third. The next thing we're going to look at is the combination of the fifth, the sixth, and the root. Really important sound in Mixolydian. Right there, the fifth is a D note, the sixth is an E note, and then the root right up there on the fifth fret on the D string. I believe I have this one. Exactly, right there. Fifth, sixth, root. D, E, and G. Now, in this position 1 of Mixolydian, we have that in 2 different places. Right there, and also up there on the B and high E strings. Okay, a great combination of notes. I'm going to go ahead and just jam over this backing loop a little bit and just mess with the phrasing and also mess with the order of the notes. Try different combinations. You can go ahead and jam along at home. Maybe I can start with the root. Start with the sixth down here. Now let's go ahead and try these 3 at the top. Fifth, sixth, root up here. Really common kind of B.B. King sound would be to end a lick on that sixth, that E note right here in G. That's the sound. So again, change up your phrasing a little bit and try to start on different notes, but really just kind of limit yourself to this 3-note combination. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to combine that fifth, sixth root with the major third. Okay, so this is a really kind of powerful combination. The fifth, sixth root with the major third. Okay, I think I have this. There it is right there. Okay, again, you can put these in any order. If I want to start with that fifth, sixth root, I can do that. If I want to start with the major third, I can do that. The thing is, we're limiting ourselves to these 4 notes here. Let's go ahead and jam over that one. Okay, I'll do the one up top now. Here we have the fifth, sixth root, and then the third here. I put the root on the end that time. Fifth, sixth root, third root. Okay, we can combine now this lower 5th, 6th root, bridging with that 3rd in the middle, and then playing the 5th, 6th root up top. So then you would have something like this. Right? 5th, 6th root here, 3rd, 5th, 6th root. So when you kind of see your scale positions in little pieces like this, it really helps to kind of visualize things and find what is musical in these little bits and then connect those things. Okay? Again, I'm just sticking to 5th, 6th root, 3rd, 5th, 6th root. All right, so now we are going to go into the 3rd together with the root and flat 7. So this combination is kind of going to give us a little bit more bluesy flavor because of that flat 7th note. Okay, let me see if I can find that one. So the flat 7 is right down here. The F note would be your flat 7 in G Mixolydian. So now I can combine that with, say, the 5th, 6th root combination. And that is a really, really nice sound. Right there. 3rd, root, flat 7. Go ahead and mess with the order and start on different notes out of the 3. See how much that flat 7 adds, to the bluesy flavor, There's a flat 7 here as well. Okay, so that combination, the 3rd, root, and flat 7, really powerful sound in this mode. Okay, a couple other combinations that you're going to have would be the sliding down into the 2nd, and then going to your roots. If you are looking at the full tab page, that would be, I believe I have it on here. Let's see here. That would be at measure 20 if you're looking at the tab on the PDF from the website. That's sliding down into the 2nd fret and then ending on the root. Another really great sound in Mixolydian. Now that combined with these other little puzzle pieces can sound really cool. 5th, 6th root, slide down into the 2nd. I'm sliding down into that 2nd, the A note there, from the flat 3rd, which is not in Mixolydian, but it is part of your minor pentatonic. So it adds another bluesy flavor here. Here's sliding down to the second root, third, fifth, sixth. You also have the second up here. Again, just the octave of the note right down there. So at the 5th fret, that's your A note. And you can again slide down to that from your flat third. Fifth, sixth root, together with that slide down to the second. Sounds great up there as well. That's a nice one there. Sliding down into the second, then sliding up into the third. So I'm gonna, this will be up on the channel so that you guys can watch it later and hopefully grab some of these licks. Okay, so that is the second. Okay, another one that we have on here, I believe, was the 4th to the 3rd. The 4th to the major 3rd. And on the tab file, you can find this at measure number 24. Again, if you don't have the tab file, go to TastyGuitar.com, sign up at the bottom of the page for free, and you'll get an email with the Tasty Guitar Complete Tab Collection. And this full tab PDF is in there. Okay, so we're looking at measure 24 now on the tab file. This is the 4th going to the 3rd. Another very cool sound. So that is like your C note resolving to your B note. A great sound. It's a nice little thing to play with. So again, I'm seeing each one of these little combinations as little puzzle pieces that you then link together. It helps you make things musical without having to have a bunch of licks already strung together, you know? 5th, 6th root, right? And the combination of the 3rd and the 4th. And again, you can put those in any order. 4th, then the 3rd, or vice versa. Alright, see, now I'm connecting different things. 5th, 6th root, 4th to the 3rd, slide down into the 2nd to the root. Third root, flat 7. So this is how I visualize the guitar, pretty much on everything. I see these little pieces and, kind of string those sounds together. Okay, another one that you want to have is the 5th, 6th to the flat 7, and you're bending to that flat 7 usually. Okay, so that is looking at measure number, what are we at? Measure number 18 on the tab. Measure number 18. Okay, so the 5th, the D note, 6th, the E note, and the flat 7, the F note. Great combination. If you're going to bend that, remember that's a half step bend. Don't overbend that. You can also just go right to that F note. Also in this same position, you have it on the bottom. 5th, 6th, flat 7 down there on the bottom. You could also bend, you know, just like we did up here. 5th, 6th, pull that 6th down, half step bend to the flat 7 right there. It's a nice sound. Okay, so at this point, okay, y'all still seeing me and hearing me okay? I hope so. All right. At this point, we're going to start to kind of connect these things up the neck a little bit. Okay, so again, if you don't have the tab, make sure you go grab that so you can follow along. So now we're taking a look at measure number 27 on the tab. Measure number 27 on the tab. And that's going to put you here in the second position of Mixolydian. All right, guys. All right, thank you. Okay, so the second position of Mixolydian, if you look at this pattern in the tab here, you notice that I started with the root. Okay, now I do that because I want you to hear this as a G scale. You know, of course, there are other notes below as well, you know, I mean the lowest note in this position of G Mixolydian would be this A note there. But I think it's important that you hear this scale as a G scale. So the way I kind of have the scale pattern written out is starting on the G. So that's why I did that there. So take a look at this pattern. Again, that's on the tab at measure 27 in the PDF file. So learn that pattern. All right. Okay, so everything that we did in that first position, you now have to find in that second position. So everything that we had there, you're also going to have here. Of course, you know, the fingerings are going to be different, but let's take a look at a couple things that, you know, we did in that first position that now we can find in that second position. Because wherever you find yourself on the neck, you need to have these combinations of note. Wow, Jeffrey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Awesome. Looks like we got some people all around Amsterdam, Holland. Right on, guys. Thanks for coming. Okay, so second position. So let's take a look at what we're looking here. fifth, sixth root in that first position was here. Right? There, and also up there. That's what we had that in two different spots in position 1. Okay, and then we combine that with that major third, right? All that stuff there. Fifth, sixth root, third, fifth, sixth root on top. Okay, so if we were going to go into second position, you find yourself there, you have to find those same combinations. So look at measure, where are we at now? Measure number 38 on the tab, right here. There it is. Okay, measure 38 on the tab on the PDF. If we're in second position, those notes now kind of line up this way. Okay, same notes. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate that. D, E, and G. All right. Same notes, just in a different position. Okay, now up on the top end, you're going to have those notes right up there in this octave. Fifth, sixth root. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that, man. Okay, so if you were going to combine those with that major third in this position, well, you have to seek out that note as well. So fifth, sixth root, down here, you got that B note right there. There's your major third. And up on top, you would have the major third up there at the 7th fret on the high E string. So if you want to kind of gain access up into higher notes, you might want to leap up and play these licks in a different position. So if I find myself maybe down here in that first position and I want to gain access to some higher notes, I will skip up positions. All right? So if I play, say, that fifth, sixth root down in first position, and then I kind of want to skip up the neck a little bit, it's going to make it a kind of a big jump. So that's why you need to find this stuff in different spots. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that, man. Okay, so let's look at how that would line up there if we jumped up. Okay, now we're going to be looking at measure number 45 on the tab. So say I was doing this combination of notes right here, which is, right on, thank you, Martin, appreciate that. This combination of notes, fifth, sixth root, third, root, flat 7. In this kind of position, just staying in position 2, it's going to be awkward to play. So this is, you know, one reason you might want to jump up the neck. Is because it's awkward to play in one position. So I could do that by jumping into the next position. This would be position 3. Right there. This is going to be super awkward to play. Thank you, Han. Appreciate that, man. Here, to me, that's a lot easier to play if you know where those combinations of notes are. If I want to gain access to higher notes, that's another reason why you might want to jump up the neck into a different position. So let's say I want to do that lick right there, but I want to gain access to higher notes. Well, I'll find that B note up the neck. It would now be here. way up there. And then that's going to give you access to other higher notes. And of course, you need to find all those other little puzzle pieces that we worked on earlier in this second position as well. Okay, so say you want to find the fourth to third in this second position. It would be right here. I'll go back to my close-up cam here. Okay, this is the fourth to the third in position 2 of Mixolydian here. So say I'm playing in first position, but I want to make my way up the neck. I can jump up right there. Combining this little combination with this, and that's going to get me up the neck a little bit. Say if I want to combine that with the third root flat 7. Okay, I have to learn where that is in this second position. Now I know I have it right here. Third root flat 7 in second position. So now I can combine those two things. So go ahead and play these things at home. Try to find these little different combinations. And of course we could do the same thing in reverse. If you want to descend the neck, you can combine things that way as well. So say I'm doing fourth to third here, and I want to descend. There's my fourth to third, down to fifth, sixth, third, and root here. Now I can make that sound like, one lick here. Jumping down the neck. Okay, let's try some different things. Say I want to find that slide down into the second that we did down here in position 1, right there. I know this is probably a lot to take in, guys. I am going to post this video up on the channel so you can re-watch it later. That's a slide down into the A, ending on the root. But if you want to get up the neck a little bit, you can shift up. So I can say start 5th, 6th root here, and then leap up, slide into that note in the second position, and there you have it. Second down to the root. Now we get that access to those higher notes. Three different puzzle pieces there. 5th, 6th root, slide down in to the second root, then to the 4th and the 3rd. Mixolydian like major, but starts on the 5th. I'm not quite understanding what you're saying, Rajesh. We're taking little pieces out of the full Mixolydian scale and combining these combination of notes. Okay, so going up into, say, 3rd position right here. This is third position of Mixolydian. Kind of based around that C-shaped chord right there. Again. Right there. Okay, now again here you have to find those combinations of notes. You want to know the full, vertical pattern of your scale, but you got to find these little combinations within it so you can visualize things and know what what things are going to sound like. Here in this position I got my 5th, 6th root right here. People will also kind of refer to this position as more of the, like the B.B. King box. It's right there. 5th, 6th root. There's my 3rd there. If I want to play the 4th down to the 3rd, it's right here. So every one of these little puzzle pieces you need to find in every one of your positions of Mixolydian, and you're just connecting them. Got my slide down into the 2nd right here. If I want to get up the neck a little bit, then I will look for the next combination in the next position above. So if I want to make my way up the neck, I can go from, say, that 5th, 6th root, and instead of playing my 3rd here, I'll play it here. Now I've jumped up into the 4th position of Mixolydian now. Same note. If I want to jump up, say play the 4th to the 3rd. Okay, what are those notes? The C going to the B. So look in the next position. Where would I have that? I would have it right here. Same notes. If I want to leap up the neck, that's how I would do it. Just combining little pieces. This way, I don't think of it in terms of a huge vocabulary of licks. I'm creating licks by combining these little sounds. And then change up the phrasing, change up the order of the notes. Right there, I played the same notes, but instead of it starting on the 5th, then going to the 6th and the root, I started on the root instead, but I played the same notes. You have to use your imagination, try different things. Double up on notes, play one of the notes twice. Change up the phrasing. Okay, I can go down to the 3rd root, flat 7 in that next position. 3rd root, flat 7, or B to the G to the F. again, change the order of the notes. Fifth, sixth root, fourth to the third, third root, flat 7. Thank you, Frank. Okay, so again, find these things in every position. Let's go up to position 4 now and see how we can jump up to that 5th position. So see what we would have there. Which chapter in your ebook has the Mixolydian positions, please? I don't know what. Okay, a chapter is, sorry, Mark, to answer your question. If you want these kind of licks, you want to probably take a look at the 50 Funky Blues Licks ebook. But it doesn't go in depth like teaching, it's more about a vocabulary of licks. Okay, so now we're in position 4 of Mixolydian. It's kind of, you can see this position kind of relative to where this root 5 bar chord would be, or your dominant 7 chord, right? Root right here on the 5th string. So this pattern is right there. Right there, there's our pattern 4 of G Mixolydian. Okay, so again, find everything here. 5th, 6th root. Find where everything is. Where's my slide down into the 2nd? Now it's right there. Find the fingering which would work best for you. That's sliding down into the A, going to the root. How about the 5th, 6th to flat 7? Get a little blues in there. Right there, the D to the E to the F. And just like we did before, we can bend that E up to the F. 5th, 6th, flat 7. Sixth root, 5th, 6th, flat 7. Hey, Tao, Dui, welcome, man. Okay, so say we're looking for the 4th to the 3rd in this position. Still have it here. Of course, you can also combine anything from the straight minor pentatonic scale. If you're playing over a blues or kind of groove like this. So if you can kind of picture that minor pentatonic scale, kind of overlapping where this Mixolydian stuff is, you can throw that stuff in and combine those sounds. Right there, little Mixolydian mixed in with some blues. Okay, so now let's jump up from that 4th position of Mixolydian up to 5th position. Okay, so let's say we got, let's see here, 3rd, say we want to jump up into, there we go, 5th, 6th, going to 2nd, sliding down into the 2nd in this position. So you're going to jump up with that finger that's going to take you into that next position. This is position 5 of Mixolydian. So I want to jump up with a finger that is going to take me into that position. 5th, 6th root, slide down into the 2nd, resolving on the root. Again, know both places you can play it. If I want to stay in the same position, I got it there. If I want to jump up the neck, I'll do it that way. You should know both ways of doing this. Okay, so now say if we want to get from position 5 of Mixolydian back up to position 1, okay, you can want to look for that same kind of stuff. 5th, 6th root, jump up back to position 1, same pattern we started with, an octave below, and find those licks. Find those little combination of notes. 5th, 6th root, 4th, 3rd would now be here. Or say 3rd root, flat 7. A lot of these little combination of notes are just on 2 strings. You know, so you can make your way up the neck. A good way to practice this stuff is find these little combinations and just use 2 strings. I played everything there on just the G and D string. Fifth, 6th root, 5th, 6th root, there. On top, 5th, 6th root, slide down into the 2nd by jumping up to the next position. I'll descend down the neck, kind of doing the same thing now, but in a descending pattern. 5th, 6th root, 3rd root. Descending, 5th, 6th root here, jumping down to the next pattern, 3rd root, flat 7. Fifth, 6th root, 3rd root, flat 7, 5th, 6th root. I'm keeping jumping down the neck. So I hope you kind of understand the concept, guys. Pretty much what we're talking about here, and all I'm doing is I'm finding these different combinations of notes, and these are all on the tab. In case you didn't get the tab yet, go to TastyGuitar.com and sign up at the bottom of the page, and you will get an email with the free tab collection. About 120 tabs, pretty much tab for all of my lessons on YouTube. Go ahead and grab that for free, and this tab is in the lesson, and it shows kind of the combination of all these different notes. And once you learn something in one position of Mixolydian, right? Start by, you know, say finding the 5th, 6th root, and then combining that with the major 3rd, or combining that with the 3rd going into the root to the flat 7. Okay, find these little different combinations within one position first, and then start to find them up the neck, jumping between them, so that you can gain access to higher notes. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate that. And so, you know, this is how you're really going to start to see everything. And you know, when I picture the guitar, I see everything like this. I'm not looking at scale patterns necessarily. I'm looking at these little compact little combination of notes within the scale pattern, you know? And for me, that is what works. And I think it'll work for you as well if you kind of give this approach a try and start to give it some real time. It's not going to come overnight. You have to kind of go piece by piece up the neck. So any questions, guys? Yeah, sure, Martin. It's you know, it's going to take a little bit. You should learn your patterns, your full vertical patterns of Mixolydian first, or at least in a couple positions, maybe 1st and 2nd positions, then find this stuff, and then add like one position at a time. This is not going to come overnight. This is going to take some, you know, it's going to take some doing. It's going to take a little work and a lot of practice. Hold on a second here. Can you post this live? Yes, I am going to post this on the YouTube channel, so you'll be able to go back and watch this and pick it apart, you know. So I might have to edit it a little bit, but it will be on the channel later today. So definitely come by and watch it. What else we got? Show the backing track. Well, actually, all I did, Javier, for the backing track was I just created a little loop. I'm just had a little looper here, and yeah, sometimes people ask me how I create these little loops. I'll show you exactly what I did. Let's see here. I'll get rid of this one. Okay, for my loop here, I just created a little bass line, something in G. I loop that. Okay, and then I just kind of played a little dominant chord. I think what I did here is just a 7th chord, and I went to a little 6th and 9th chord combination, and then I overdubbed that over the top of the bass line. Grabbed a little 9 chord on the top there, and there it is. Just two little parts there. A little bass line, overdubbed the chord, and And that's kind of how I put together little practice loops really quickly. Okay, thank you, Chris, appreciate that. Lago, thanks, man, I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. How did you do it? Okay, I think I answered that. Are you referring to the cage positions? I referred to the cage type of thing a couple times. When I was up in this position, I called that kind of the C kind of position of that chord. But generally, I don't refer to those really when I'm looking at things. I didn't learn with the cage system, so I don't really teach things that way. I understand what you're saying, but I don't visualize the neck that way. I'm seeing the patterns, the scale patterns, and these little combinations of notes within them, and I'm not really thinking in terms of a cage system. Okay, does Mixolydian only work over dominant 7th chords? You can of course use them over any extension over of a 7th chord, like a 9th chord, a 13th chord. So yeah, I mean, any combination or extension of a 7th chord, they'll work. So that's how I use Mixolydian. You got to be careful though, the context of your 7th chord. Sometimes if a 7th chord is leading to a minor chord, Mixolydian will not be the best scale of choice. You know, you might want to play an altered scale in that situation. Okay, so you got to be a little bit careful. In a blues situation, Mixolydian, yeah, you can play Mixolydian for each one of the chords. The 1 chord, the 4, and the 5 chord. If I'm in a blues, G blues, I can use G Mixolydian for the G and the 1 chord, C Mixolydian for the C chord, and D Mixolydian for that D chord. If I'm on a 1 chord jam like what I played over today, I can use G Mixolydian for all of that, and also kind of combine and weave in and out with minor pentatonic. I mean, I do that all the time. That's when you're going to get a nice bluesier sound. Do you unplug your RC3 every door or leave it plugged in? You know, I usually leave it plugged in. Mind Control 67, yeah, I leave it plugged in probably 24/7. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but I do. Yeah. So anyways, this RC3 is really beat up, but it works and it's been working for years. So I don't usually store anything on it. Like I don't usually store any of the loops that I do, so it doesn't matter if I would unplug it. Also, okay. Also over regular major. I don't understand if that's a question, Lago. Thank you, Web for Panama. I appreciate that. Watching first time and. Another way, please. Watching you for some time, and man, you're getting older. Oh yeah, thanks a lot, man. Yes, aren't we all? I think I've aged quite a bit this last year, like all of us have. I just turned 50, by the way, so there you have it. Okay, Mark R. I have 5 positions on my C major scale. Should I find my G? Okay, that's a good question, Mark. I don't really recommend people taking the approach of kind of say, you know, if you know your major scale positions and thinking in terms of your major scale positions and it's like say, yeah, playing your what are we talking about here? What did you say? C major scale, should I find my G Mixolydian patterns from that parent scale? Yeah, I don't recommend that you think in those terms. I think you should learn the Mixolydian scale and Mixolydian mode as its own kind of standalone thing and see it relative to the roots of G. The reason for that is if you are playing over several different chords in a chord progression, you don't want to have to do the math in your head. Like say if you're playing in blues, like I don't want to have to think in terms of a C scale to play in Mixolydian, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm gonna go to my 4 chord, I don't want to have to think, okay, and now I'm playing an F major scale that works for that is essentially the same notes as C Mixolydian. So I don't want to have to do that math while I'm playing. So no, I recommend that you learn Mixolydian as a standalone scale relative, to and find the roots of your G. I do have one private student that kind of has learned that way, and he does, you know, the kind of thinks of everything in terms of the major scale, and it's really kind of caused him some headaches in relearning things. Okay. All right. No cruises planned. You know, that's a good question, Michael. Actually, we were planning to go, we actually kind of had a booking to go to Antarctica on a cruise. We do this, me and my wife do a duo gig sometimes, usually about once a year on a private yacht gig, really nice gig. And we were planning, it was actually supposed to be Antarctica about, you know, over the new year. But of course, no cruises are happening now. But I imagine once everything kind of gets back to normal, that we will continue to do that about once a year. Go and do at least the private yacht gig, because they're shorter gigs, usually about 3 weeks, a month at a time, and get to travel the world. It's freaking amazing. Cruise ships, not so much, you know, like big cruise ship gigs, you know, you're out there for 5 months, you know, in a little tiny closet, and no thanks, I'm getting too old for that. So, thank you, Javier. Argentina. Man, I really want to go to Buenos, what do you say, Buenos Aires? Is that, I probably said it wrong. Anyways, looks like a beautiful city. 50, yes. Yes, Jim C. I am 50 years old. My wife looks even younger. Well, she is a lot younger. Okay. Yeah, it would be cold down there. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for coming today. I hope you kind of gained some insight into how you can approach Mixolydian, you know, without having to learn some, you know, a lot of licks. You know, I don't generally learn licks or think in terms of licks. I string together sounds that I know where they are and where they exist on the guitar within my patterns. That's the way I think. I mean, I don't think everybody thinks that way, but it kind of works for me, and I think it will work for you. It will definitely help you visualize things, and so that you're not overwhelmed when you're looking at a new scale, something you're not familiar with, say like Mixolydian. This can also work in other modes. I mean, you can do this. I also teach people how to do this in minor pentatonic, you know, seeing things in little chunks instead of being overwhelmed with the entire neck. Steve Sheld asking if you add flat 7 to major pentatonic, is that the same as Mixolydian? Well, not quite. I mean, let's see here. Major pentatonic, you got your root, your second, your major third, your fifth, your sixth, and again your root up there at the octave. If I just add flat 7 to that, I'm still missing the fourth, okay, which is an important note in the scale for things like that combination of the fourth third that we were doing earlier. So I don't really advocate learning major pentatonic at all, really. It's something I don't teach, because all of the notes of major pentatonic are contained within Mixolydian. You have all those notes. So I kind of think major pentatonic is a little bit of a waste of time. If I want to play those notes, I will either play Mixolydian or the major scale if I want to, you know, if I'm playing over a major, something in major, and I'll add that natural seventh. Okay, so yeah, major pentatonic is something I don't really advocate at all, and I don't really recommend learning that way just by adding a flat 7 to it, because you're still missing one of the key notes. I hope that makes sense. What do we got here? Leon. Do I play jazz also? Not really. I wouldn't consider myself a jazz player. I have played a little bit of jazz in the past, but I would not say I'm a jazz player. And I think anybody who heard me play jazz would agree. Hi, GJ, yes, you're in Australia. Sorry you missed it, man. Well, but this will be on the channel, so you can watch the replay of it. Thanks, man's not hot sauce. Do you have PDFs in the membership for Mixolydian and the scale? Yeah, Mark, I do have PDFs in the membership. I go through, I have a lesson there where I go through all 5 patterns, all 5 positions in video of the Mixolydian scale. And that reminds me, that's a great question, because I want to let you all know that I do have a membership website, and it is fantastic. If you want to learn R&B, soul, funk, and blues guitar, it's the spot. I got Soundslice for every lesson. Basically, probably about 600 lessons on the website. It's fantastic. So check it out at TastyGuitar.com. With the membership, it allows you to send me videos of your playing and get feedback on your playing on any lesson on the website. So a lot there. Every Funky Friday lick that I've ever done, everything is there with interactive sound slice. You get backing tracks, all kinds of stuff. So enough of that commercial. If you want to just say work on your blues rhythm playing, okay, this is available as a standalone course. Okay, 45 lessons in blues rhythm. It's called the Blues Rhythm Recipe. That's also available. I believe you can find the link in the description below. So look below. And if you just want to work on your funk rhythm, again, another 45 lesson course, very, very intensive funk rhythm course. I don't think there's anything more extensive out there than my funk rhythm course. Yeah, today and today only, up until 4 p.m. Pacific time, I'm offering 25% off all my memberships, the courses, and ebooks with a coupon code LIVE25. Live25 off. So that will get you 25% off my memberships, the courses, or the ebooks. So there is a link to Taste of Guitar down in the description below. So yeah, great deal. That brings an annual membership and a platinum membership down to about $12.50 a month. Killer deal. So check that out. Also, that's available on anything on the website. So get you 25% off on the ebooks, or the funk course, or the blues course. Sound was out. You should repeat the button. Okay, so you got it now. All right, guys. Well, I hope you got all that. And hi, Kiku, Japanese guitarist. Thanks for coming. Looks like you missed most of it, but this will be on the channel for a replay. So, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. So go down to the description. Again, there's the coupon there where you can get discounts on membership. And I'll probably be doing another live stream in a couple weeks, so stay tuned. All right, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you soon.